jobbers. You lose, and you lose, and you lose again, but at least you got the European title once. Who are they? What do they do? What's the point of them? Well, in professional wrestling, it's obvious that it's scripted. That's to be granted, one way or another. So, what happens to a person? They want success, they want money, they want their job, they want fame, they want whatever. And they're out on the indies, or they're out in the big companies, and they have an opportunity for a once-in-a-lifetime job, and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in of itself, to go on to the main roster. You're more than likely still going to be a jobber. You're more than likely still going to lose most of your matches. You're more than likely, especially if you're a heel, going to get people over. Get the babyface over. Get the top star over. Now, when I say get over, what do I mean for the fans who don't know? That just basically means you make the other person look good. You make the other person better. His reputation, the fact that he beat you, makes them, the fans, appreciate them more. But it doesn't really impact you much, unless in certain circumstances you're just the most pathetic, and you just never win matches ever, and you just have a terrible character and nobody likes you. I mean, granted, if nobody likes you, that could potentially be heat or people hating you, but at the same time, it could be nobody likes you and nobody doesn't care. So fine. It's a risky venture because it means that you may not be as likable, or you may not be as appreciated, but you have no choice. It's how you're booked. So let's say you are a jobber. From a booker standpoint, how do you make a successful one? Well, honestly, to me, it's very simple, in my opinion. You need to make him a credible threat, and then you need, at the very bottom, the pathetic ones. Now, you got credible threats and then pathetic ones. And why do I say that? Because the credible threats will win. But they're gonna not win over 50% of the matches, essentially. They're still jobbers. But if you put them with the pathetic ones, they beat them in an instant. They tear them down. It's really good if you want a heel jobber, because if you really want to think about it, you need heel jobbers to get the top baby faces over, no matter what. So a top baby face will work up the roster, up to his top position, from the credible threat, like even a little bit of the pathetic ones, but the credible threats all the way up to the other credible heels who are actual uppercarders and whatnot, up to the top. If he's going to be the world champion and whatnot, he's going to be the heavyweight, he's going to be the top face of the company. If he's going to be that, the credible threat jobber is very essential for getting him there, because it makes this credible threat jobber wins his matches. It's possible in the audience's mind that this babyface, this dude is going to be the world champion soon, that he does not make it, he does not win this match, that he cannot beat this villain. I don't think, for WWE's sake, I don't think they understand that for some reason, as much as I think they should. Because, yeah, the pathetic ones, they're great, they're lovable, people like them. Too bad you don't showcase them. You never let them work, and they don't even exist, it seems like. And the credible threat jobbers also sort of don't, because your credible threat jobbers are the people you skyrocket up here, and then miraculously win the world title and then go back down here and then somehow become pathetic. However that works. So, don't worry, McMahon. I'm watching you, but I'm not going to talk about you. Or any of you. Or Ed Ferrara or something. I don't know. But, in my opinion, if you're going to get this face over, you got to give him a credible threat. So that way, when he loses to a legitimate upper card heel, it feels like there's a challenge. It feels like there's legitimate stakes before that person beats him and he doesn't get to the World Championship yet. So I think what they need to do is they need to build these credible threat jobbers who mostly will be heels because they're mostly going to get people over, but there will be faces, and people appreciate that. You know why? Because they're the underdog. They job out to the top heels. So when the heels start working, they take out the credible threat faces, so that way they can get to the top to the actual upper card faces. So that way you can have fucking pay-per-view matches and not have the same that like has happened 20 times before. So it's easy to believe that this dude beat him 12 times. He's probably going to be the 13th. It's not as fun anymore. It's not as interesting. Even if it's a good match, it just will not build stakes. So, really, they got to think the weeks building up to the pay-per-view have to have these credible threat jobbers job out to these heels and faces, because that way, not only does it savor the matches for the pay-per-view, for the people who are at the upper card fighting each other, it also means that these people at the bottom can still get over with the fans, or still get heat from the fans by winning against the pathetic ones. The pathetic ones hardly ever win. If they win, it's either because they're so pathetic that they cheat majorly, massively, or they just 1, 2, 3 kid suddenly jump off the top rope and beat someone and then become a mid-card face or heel. You know, what ends up happening, I think, in a booker's mind is that with TV, they want these people to work with each other because they can tell a good story. When I don't think they give the lower people enough credit. Yes, wrestling is about telling stories. Yes, it's always, every match is a story. Every promo, every backstage thing. But they overbloat the stories of everything going on, where you'll see the same 5, 6 people come week after week after week doing the same storyline, not just letting it take a week to break after one win or one loss, or this or that. It's always got to be match and then promo and then match and then promo. I've seen them, not to keep ranting, but I've seen them start a show with 2 promos. The people are like, what the fuck? We got used to you starting with a promo now, which is pretty weird if you think about it. That we couldn't just start with a match, fine. But then you start with 2. So like the first one they boo and they cheer, but then the second one they're like, I gotta piss. So it's like, alright. But more or less, this is just me sort of ranting about my idea of how jobbers should work. Not necessarily how they do, always. But I think some companies have already learned that idea way before me, way before I've even been born. So I'm not even talking about them. I'm honestly kind of ranting on WWE a little bit, which I will kind of continue to from time to time. But this isn't as comedic of a video, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Any of you wrestling marks out there?